Yeah, I didn't think that I had a debt to pay till the came to take all I had left away. You said you wouldn't put.
Hi, good evening everyone. It's AstroSolid92 here with another review, and tonight's review we're going to be discussing about WWE Pro Wrestling Entertainment's last event, which occurred on the November 29th, 2025 at the Petco Stadium in San Diego, California, which is for the WWE Survivor Series War Games 2025, which emanated a few days ago. So I'm going to be giving my analysis and review of the last live event which happened in California a few days ago in the United States with WWE. So I'll be giving my brief analysis reaction for each of these four matches very briefly. So stay tuned, you'll hear my analysis very briefly yourself. Thank you. Right then, so you see I'm sporting a Christmas hat here because it's now the beginning of December now, so Christmas occasion is soon upon us now, so ho ho ho, Merry Christmas. Right. Gotta have a Christmas spirit there, so not to cause any noise like no plans or anything from The Simpsons. Anyways, let me go on to the first match of the night of the Survivor Series, the War Games 2025 live event, which happened at Petco Park Stadium in San Diego, California in 2025 last Saturday. So first match of the night was Charlotte Flair's 5-on-5 women's War Games match against Becky Lynch's team, opposing over 5 members of each team in the War Games match. So led by Charlotte Flair's team and by Becky Lynch's team. So there were team members that were involved in Last Legends. There were like Hero Sky on the opposing team. You know, Charlotte, I don't know which team had it on which member, to be honest, but I do remember a few things about a few members. Last Legends, I've mentioned before, you know, Rhea Ripley's on the other opposing team, you know, so yeah, so into the War Games match, you know, many opponents started off with 2 people in the ring, you know, there were two rings here divided with each other with the ring raising just from the beginning of the match as such, you know, they were executing bad moves during the match as such. So they were doing things, you know, executing moves, you know, rinsing each other's head through the steel fencing of the wall, you know, the War Games match, you know, because it's very like an old school style WCW match they had back in the day when they had WCW War Games, you know. So, you know, when all the women were in the ring simultaneously, you know, towards the end of the half, whatever, you know, Hero Sky managed to be up on top of the cage, you know, she had the trash can on her head, she jumped all the way down to the opposing War Games members, you know, took them all out, you know, and then Rhea Ripley managed to hit the 2 tied on one of the opponents on Becky, and then Last Legends managed to hit the Black Widow's lock on Becky Lynch, and then she submitted, and then Charlotte Flair, her team wins the match. So congratulations to Charlotte Flair and her team and her members for winning the War Games match. So I'm going to move on to the next match now. So the next match is John Cena versus Dominic Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio, obviously, you know, he's been on good runs of late, Dominic Mysterio, with the Judgment Day and all that, you know, coming. And for John Cena, you know, he's on to his last ever few matches having with the company as of now, because he did have his last match of Raw, which was a very triumphant, which very occasional for him in such cases, you know. So he went up against Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental title, I believe. So, or he's in, I don't remember as such, but a few things happened during the match itself, you know. It was very dominant during the match, you know. John Cena, you know, as always, you know, he's very peculiar to how he goes on about new superstars are coming in the company itself with John Cena. You know, he hit a few moves with John Cena, you know, as adjustments or STF, whatever, on Dominic. You know, Dominic is trying to do the thing about the Uncle Eddie thing about the live cheating stealing concept there. You know, he looks for many things to make excuses, to make, you know, to get one over on people. You know, the thing that they do with the Latinos, you know, the stuff they do with the Rey Mysterios, his father, etc., from the Latino wrestling affiliated people that work in the Latino luchador wrestling business as such, you know. So I do remember at one point in the match where Dominic, you know, had a bit of help from his people from Judgment Day with the Irish guy, Finn Balor came in, and then they ended up on top of John Cena, and then John Cena like carried both of them into a 5-minute carry, and then he like done an attitude adjustment for both of them, and then Dominic Mysterio Like he was just had a bit of assistance from other team members from Judgment Day, and then all of nothing, John Cena was like on top of the ropes there like that, and he was like in position there for Dominic Mysterio to hit a 619 in relation to his fellow Rey Mysterio, and then he managed to hit a top rope fly move from the top rope, and then 1, 2, 3, Dominic retains or wins the Intercontinental Championship. So congratulations to Rey Mysterio for winning the second match. So triumphant to him, and then the third match was Stephanie Vargas was going up against Nikki Bella for the WWE Women's Championship. So very straightforward for Stephanie Vargas competing against Nikki Bella, I believe, or so. You know, it was really straightforward exhibition match. As I've seen the NXT rookie, you know, come up into the main roster. You know, she was very triumphant. You know, the way she was executing for the 5-10 minutes in the match itself, it was very exhibitional. So she managed to get the victory by executing the finisher 1, 2, 3 out of nothing, and it was very straightforward for Stephanie Vargas to retain her title. So that's all the 5 matches I've just given my answers to. I'm just going to give my full answers. So I'm coming from the main event. 5-on-5 Gamers. There's 5 series of games. Right, so on to the main event of the night of the Survivor Series 2025 War Games, which took place in San Diego, California, in Petco Park. So yeah, as you know, the War Games strategy, where you work in a team of 5 against 5, you know, in a cage, you know, just as I mentioned earlier in the women's match earlier as such. So you know, so obviously, you know, Brock Lesnar's team was facing against CM Punk's team of 5-5, you know, consisting of a team of Logan Paul, McIntyre, a few others like Braun Breaker, you know, Bronson Reed, etc. CM Punk's team consisted of Cody Rhodes, I think he had Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, I believe, were in his team as well for that part as well. So, yeah, it looked like a really exciting match to be enjoyed by both fans, as the main event of the match in San Diego, California for that instance, I would say. So, you know, it got off to a really good start between two first opponents. I forget who were the first two. I think it maybe CM Punk became the first opponent, made his entrance during the match itself. I think he was in the match with, not a Braun Breaker, I think it was another opponent he was in the ring with at the beginning of the match itself, you know. Because it's always good to see CM Punk, you know. You know, I am a huge CM Punk mark, I have to be honest, you know. After I was going on a bit too much about his title recently in the World Heavyweight Championship, he won against James, I believe. But sorry if I sound a bit too overly wise about CM Punk. Anyways, CM Punk opened the match. You know, he was one of the first few opponents that came in to open the match himself. You know, I think he was maybe in the ring, maybe it was against either maybe Logan Paul or maybe the other opponent and such. You know, other opponents came in, you know, afterwards. You know, after 5 or 10 minutes after another opponent comes in doing the War Games match procedures, you know. So remember Cody, his face was scrunched along the fencing of the steel railings, you know. There was a busted open crimson mask with Cody Rhodes' face at one point during the match itself. You know, there's a lot of moves executed. I saw Cody Rhodes or another opponent jump off the top of the cage. High flying execution moves from different opponents that came into the match, you know. Spears coming from nowhere, tables including, you know, steel chairs, weapons including into the match itself. And yeah, I got off to a really fiery start when the big man, you know, the beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar, when he comes into the match and then he sees something there and he takes advantage of the situation and he's dishing out a lot of damage to many opponents in the match itself. You know, he's dishing out steel chair damage. You know, he's taking out people with German suplexing. So you know, he's a very menacing machine when he's in these sort of predicaments in his matches and such. Brock Lesnar, you know, I'm a really, you know, not fanatic. You know, the people who sell the merchandise in these events here and such. But you know, it's people who sell it. Enthusiastically fan of something Brock Lesnar, I would say, since the old 203 days when he was first in the WWE as such, I would say. But yeah, you know, he is a fierce monster, I would say, when it comes to that, you know. Especially at one point when I saw him outside of the arena, outside of the War Games cage, where he basically picked up Roman Reigns at one point, and he basically F5'd him straight through the announce table. Like, it's a very fierce monster, I would say, when it comes to this guy. The way he picks up people, the way he pushes them through the announce table through the match. Well, he's a very fierce fucking monster, that man. Yeah, so let me go on to speak about more things, I would say. So let me just go on to the bit where, towards the ending bit of the latter half of the match itself. So when there's a guy who came out in a mask, completely dressed in black, like similar to how Becky Lynch made CM Punk lose the match. He's in classified in my early 20s, I remember. So the guy dressed in black, you know, he climbed up the railings, you know, he came into the match, and then I don't know for some what reason he managed. He just wants to basically just ruin another bullshit with CM Punk, you know, like he just wants to basically keep him stumped there, and then, you know, a lot of people to come in and then they hit the moves, and then he runs straight for the table. They have a guy, and then you know, Braun Baker, you know, Braun Baker takes advantage of the situation itself, and then he manages to hit CM Punk with a spear, and then 1, 2, 3, yet again CM Punk is basically taking advantage of, and then he basically ends up losing his side of the team, and then Brock Lesnar team wins, and Braun Baker is gains eventually the match. Congratulations to Brock Lesnar team winning the match, you know. Too bad for CM Punk. I wish him well for his upcoming feuds and matches that he has upcoming, you know. So I wish him well for that. So, but congratulations to Brock Lesnar and his team for winning, for becoming the victorious not Soul Survivor. I think that's not in relation to what Randy Orton was doing in 2005, where he became the Soul Survivor, and then the Undertaker came, and he basically done all that many years ago, like 2 decades or 3 decades, I remember. But yeah, I mean, it's all to do with a different aspect, different situation with the company at the moment, you know, with different people going out in such different situations as such. But yeah, Brock Lesnar 5-5 team wins the match. Congratulations, Brock Lesnar. So I think this match was a really okay match overall. I think it was quite good, especially the part when Brock Lesnar came out. You know, when Brock Lesnar comes out to something like that, you know, he creates more excitement, he creates more enthusiasm, I would say, due to his powers, due to his unforgiving nature, the way he battles people, the way he grabs them, the way he slams them, the way he speaks emphatically, like it's no mercy with him at all, man. But yeah, I think CM Punk is very good, you know. CM Punk, the way he conducts himself in the ring, the way he addresses himself, you know, the mannerism, not all the time, I would say, but I get the gist of what CM Punk is doing when he wrestles in Cody Rhodes, you know. He's an up-and-coming guy, you know. He's trying to do things in his own mind and agendas, the way he does things, you know, especially how it went with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson when he was doing something with him. Maybe next year WrestleMania. I'm not sure how that goes, but we'll see what they're doing with Cody. But overall, I thought this match and maybe some parts of Dominic versus John Cena was okay. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's the best overall live event I've seen this year, you know, nearing the Christmas season. But yeah, I thought it was alright. So I'll just say, I think that's enough I've said about the Survivor Series War Games this year. So as you know, so I always do reviews all the time. That's what I always do. So if you like to subscribe, if you like to make a comment, if you like to have a look at other things I do, so if you want to subscribe, the address is up on this side here. So the address is there, www.youtube.com /Southern92. So subscribe, you know, have a look at my other content I upload, you know, as I always do momentarily. I don't know why I said momentarily. But yeah, that is basically the other way you can access my YouTube content and see other things I upload on my YouTube content, you know, the wrestling, you know, the gaming, you know, the news aspect, you know. I've already have a review there for Steam Console Review if you want to have a look at the review I done for that previously. So there will be more reviews coming soon momentarily, but for now, take care of yourself, guys, and hope you have a good Christmas nearing the 25th or nearing the new year of 2026. So take care of yourself, guys. And I know it was Thanksgiving recently, United States, so happy Thanksgiving to all you people who are watching me from the US and Canada, etc. But I am from the UK in London, so I do want to wish you all a happy Christmas this year. Whatever you guys are doing, take care of yourselves, and see you for another review. Thank you.
Like a pill I couldn't swallow, and to swallow me whole. Another lie hard to follow till it follows.